All right, Shalom.
Wow.
We coming out here, what I'm saying? We out here having a sit down, all right, to prophesy, all right, uh, our names that we follow by our power, all right. Yahweh Bashem Awashai, Yah, meaning he is, Bahasham, in the name of Yahweh Shai, Yah, meaning he is, Hawashai, meaning deliverer, okay. And we come in the stead of Yahweh Bashem Awashai. All right, we already know why you're here. All right. Before, we will give infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha'a Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone that taught us the truth and sincerity. Shalom to the elect. Now, here we are coming to you today, all right, because this title says it all. All right, civilization, lifespan of a kingdom. Okay, because each kingdom does in fact have a lifespan. All right, let's start off with Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3, and let's get that word world in the blue letter. Bible Pasha.
God. This is um this is Matthew 24 and 3. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? And
Exactly. Exactly. So what will be the end of the world? Okay. What will be the signs of our Lord Yahweh Shai coming back? How are we gonna determine? All right. Read on.
God,
That second half.
God, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world,
The end of what?
and end of the world.
Exactly. The end of the world. So let's get that word world in the blue letter, Baba Gosha.
Uh,
If you want me to get it, I can get it.
yeah, I was just about I
To
don't know if this thing on.
kick you out.
Okay. The water.
You said what?
You can get out. Baba shot.
Okay. So I'll get it right quick.
The water.
All right. So what is the determining factors? Okay. What is the determining factor at the end of the world? Okay. Because the scripture that vision yet for no. Okay, we wait for it. Okay. So there's a certain hour, that second, right? This lifespan of this civilization is going to end. Okay. I have that word world right quick. All right. In a blue letter. Strong's G 165 aeon. Aeon, which means period of time, age. Okay. So, there's a period of time a civilization, all right, is going to continue. All right. Prime example, there's a guy, his name is Oswald Spangler, all right, and he has a theory, all right, going into a civilization lifespan. That is actually what drew this lesson. All right. Oswald Spangler, all right, in his now mind you, this is on a Google search. All right, Oswald Spangler's civilization lifespan theory. Oswald Spangler in his seminal work, The Decline of the West. You hear that? Proposed that civilizations has a finite, predictable lifespan, roughly 1,000 years of flourishing, followed by 1,000 years of decline. You hear that? So this right here, what you seeing, all right, is the ending of the Roman Empire. Okay, because the only difference is now the Roman Empire has cars, Wi-Fi, and McDonald's. All right, but it is still ran by the same system. All right, they have a Senate house in the ancient Roman Empire, and there's a Senate house now, man. All right, now in uh to get to a mega city, all right, because mind you, Yahweh Shema Washai look at so-called countries as in fact cities, all right, and Yahweh Shema Washai says that that Babylon the Great is that great city, man. Okay, so in order to get to a mega city, you would first have to have a village, and in that village you will work really hard. There's a sense of so-called togetherness, and you will have a lot of babies, because babies are in fact free labor, you know. And if you are very, very successful, that will go into a town, you know, and those towns would multiply into more towns, you know, and then that would translate into a city. And then from that city, you will get a mega city. And the difference between a village and a city is that would be the removing of reality, abstraction. You know, that's just a fancy word of basically saying the removing of reality, because back in the village, you know where that water is coming from. You know what spring that water came from. You know what seeds you plant is what you're going to get. All right. When you have reached mega city, all right, that has pushed you into what? You don't even know what's real. You know, you don't know where that apple came from. You don't know where those grapes came from. You don't know where that bottle of water came from. Okay. All right. And within that, okay, you don't have any more sense of so-called togetherness. You know, it actually pushes you, all right, to be a individual. That's what Babylon pushes you. That's what um a declining society will force you to be. You know what I'm saying? By yourself. You don't want to have babies anymore when you're in a mega city. Everything is pushed by money, because with money I don't have to trust you. You know, I don't have to trust you, and if I go to the doctor, I will have to pay a doctor. All right. The community doesn't get involved, you know, because you will have to pay a doctor. All right. Now, you got a preset right quick. Let's get let's get the presets that we had lined up. Let's
God,
get uh Habakkuk 2 and 3.
God, God. This is Habakkuk 2 and 3. And it reads, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time."
You hear that? The vision is yet for an appointed time. There's a certain hour, day that this civilization is going to end. And just like what Oswald, his theory, all right, is that you have 1,000 years of flourishing and 1,000 years of decline. Okay. Because also you have to examine that this lifespan, you know what I'm saying, of this civilization, this right here is like the same lifespan of a human. All right. Because a civilization is born, it is young, it grows, and it get mature, and then it dies. All right. And look, here's the beauty of it too. Some of these civilizations don't even make it to the dying phase. Some in a town. All right. Some actually will reach a city. All right. But this Roman Empire reached mega city to where, its laws uh and its vibration is pushed throughout the four corners of the earth. That's why the scriptures say Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. It's already telling you that Esau is going to be the end of the world, man. All right. And we already told you what world was going into a period of time. This is the time of the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? The age of the Edomites is going to come to an end. And there's no way you can try to create an external threat or anything of that nature. There is nothing you can do about it. It is inevitable. All right. That's why the scriptures say it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yahweh Bashemah Washai. And when you go into that word hand is going into controlling and determining the destinies of men, which actually goes under the banner of what? The rising and falling of kingdoms and empires. The Lord can rise up a kingdom and he can take a kingdom down, man. All right. And the world is going to be ran under complete righteousness. The Lord is not going to merge his kingdom with Jersey Mike's, man. All right. That's just not going to happen. Okay. This entire side is going to be completely destroyed as far as its system, as far as how things is being ran. All right. The world is going to be under new management. All right. Finish that out.
I had a quick precept. You want to wait to bring it out?
Finish. Yeah. Finish that up. That's right quick.
But at the end, it shall speak.
At the end, it shall speak. Even Esau know that his time is short. That's why you have the Oswald Spanglers. That's why you have the John B. Calhouns and all of these other guys, man, that are in fact Edomites. They actually know that their kingdom, all right, is failing. They actually know that the Roman Empire is in fact declining. Okay. Because mind you, if this kingdom wasn't at a decline, you will have togetherness. People will be working hard. People will be having a lot of babies. All right. Which will create more workers. All right. And then towns are going to grow. But you will always keep those core, elements, morals and everything like that. When you're in a mega city, you only care about your damn self, man. That's what America got, Jake, only caring about their damn self, to the point where the only thing that brings us together is money, and the money is going to fail. And that brings me to John B. Calhoun, because this is on Google. He had this experiment that he ran for years, and he called it rat utopia. Okay. And it was about rodent habitants where he had gave them unlimited resources. All right. And it led to a social collapse within the rat community. He gave them like a 10 by 10 square foot room, and he had them all in there, and he put like a few in there, and he gave them all of the food, all of the resources, all of the housing, whatever these little rats needed. They didn't want for nothing, man. All right. They had the most ultimate comfort. Okay. And as they're having babies, all right, and things are getting populated, what happens? All right. Was there like a depletion of food? No, it was not a depletion of food or nothing. He actually gave them more housing to where every every rat, they had unlimited resources. Okay. But the difference between, you know what I'm saying, the rats that's in John B. Calhoun's you know what I'm saying, uh social experiment versus the wild is that the rats in the wild have a place to go. Because if two rats, and you know what I'm saying, they are actually fighting for a mate, there has to be a winner. You know, this is the zero sum game. I win, you lose, you know, and that's how this civilization is ran. I win, you lose, man. Okay. So the alpha male, all right, that actually won, he will be considered an alpha male, and he can have whatever woman that he wants, however many, but the other rat has to go somewhere else. You key what I say, you know what I'm saying? Like the key word, he went somewhere else. The rats in the Calhoun experiment, they didn't have nowhere else to go. That's why they was killing each other. And then they started eating each other, even though there is a unlimited abundance of everything, you know? So that's how these elites, all right, is running this side. That's why they put you in housing, they put you in apartments, they put you in gated communities, they put you basically like sardines everywhere, to the point where all hell break loose. And then on top of that, you are already snatched away resources. You're going to make people very violent. That's going to make people very violent, man. All right. And that's good because that actually fulfills prophecy in the book of Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right. The 16th verse going on down. Really all of Second Ezra 15 and 16. Because currently we are living in those times right now. We are literally living Second Ezra 15 and Second Ezra 16 currently right now. We're living it. You know? Okay. And I'm gonna read a passage in the Google. All right, going into the rat utopia. John B. Calhoun's an American ethnologist conducted a series of experiments between 1958 and 1962 with brown rats, later extending to mice from 1968 to 1972 to study the effects of population density on behavior. He created enclosed environments, often called rat utopias or mouse paradises, where rodents had unlimited food, water, and protection from predators, allowing populations to grow without natural constraints. Most famous of these experiments was Universe 25, which began with 8 mice in a 4.5 foot cube, eventually peaked at over 2,200 individuals. All right. And around 2,200 rats was when they started killing each other because it got too dense. All right. And that is the declining of a society, you know, because at first everybody was, you know what I'm saying, like all the rats was helping each other and everybody had their own food. It wasn't no problems. But once there is overproduction and overpopulation, that's when they start killing each other. Even though they had everything they wanted, still, you know, that is an American for you. All right. Even though they have everything, they still want more. That's why you can never stop a nigga from wanting nothing, because a nigga gonna always want something, you know. And in Jacob's Trouble, they may want your life. That's how it's gonna be, man. You know? Uh, but also something that's interesting in this experiment, they had a group, it's like a small remnant of rats called the beautiful ones. That's what they entitled them, you know? And these rats, these little remnant of rats, right? They completely detached themselves from the rat society, literally. And they was always in a little home, cleaning themselves a lot and stuff like that. And their coats was beautiful. They was like a brand new mouse, like very taken care of, very well groomed, very well fed. And all of the ones that got caught up in the rat society, they was mangled up, had patches of hair gone, a eye missing, a leg or two gone, limping, all this other shit. Man, they look mangled, you know? And that actually had like a spiritual connotation of the elect that completely detached themselves from this society, man. All right. And they got to glow, you know, because they in this truth. All right. They put off the ways of Babylon the Great, man. And they turned out to be the best, you know. But let's finish that preset right quick.
God. This is Habakkuk 2 and 3. But at the end it shall speak and not lie.
But what? But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Read on.
Though it tarry, wait for it, because
Exactly,
it will
man. See,
speak.
right. It said Terry, but wait for it, you know, because currently it may seem like this Roman Empire is going to continue and continue and continue, but it's not. It's not. You just can't lose patience. You know what I'm saying? Jake be trying to, you know, force the Lord's hand by trying to rush him. Like, nah, man, everything is right on time. We are literally at the point where the MOTB can get implemented mandatory today. It could. That just goes to show on how close we are. All right. Salvation is nearer than what you believe, you know. Though it tarry, wait for it. It ain't tarrying though, because every prophecy has an appointed time, even from the Euphrates River drive, you know, it's drying up, all the way up to the missiles in the second coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah. You know, read on up.
God. Wait for it, because it will surely come.
It will what?
It will surely come.
Exactly. It will surely come. You hear that? The end is near. The end is here. And it's going to surely come, you know? And that brings me right back to the Oswald Spangler, you know, it's in theory of the, you know what I'm saying, of a civilizational lifespan. Okay. Because in that civilizational lifespan, just like a human, it don't matter if you live to 150, eventually you're going to die. We're all going to die eventually. All right. Because we're humans. You understand? That is the lifespan of a, you know, human, man. All right. In a civilization, it doesn't matter. It's going to go. Okay. Esau can use Project Bluebeam all they want to and try to create a false external threat. At the end of the day, does you know what I'm saying? This society is going to decline anyway. Okay. People are not gonna have a sense of togetherness once they see that there's a external threat, such as a so-called alien invasion, nuclear capabilities from another you know, area or something. It doesn't matter because mind you, that word that we brought out earlier, abstraction from reality. People are not even aware to even care about an external threat. They're still going to be individualistic. You see what I'm saying? So it's not going to change nothing. All right. This place is going to further furtherly decline because that is the lifespan of a civilization. All right. 1,000 years of decline. All right. And the Roman Empire fell before. So you think it's not going to fall now? Come on, man. You know?
Got a precept.
Go ahead, bring it up.
All right, real quick. On the point you just made. This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And
exactly, man.
There is no new thing under the sun.
You see, there is no new thing under the sun. All right. So if the Lord can bring down one kingdom, he can rise up the same kingdom and then make that same kingdom fall. Or he can even, I mean, hey, look at the Han dynasty, look at the Mayan dynasty, look at the Roman Empire. They all rose up, fell, rose up, fell, rose up, fell. Look at the Egyptians. You really think that these minute bowl looking Negroes was gonna be tall, skinny, ashy, with peasy ass head that, you know what I'm saying, that look like a fucking Reese cup that's dried up and they got all this shit going on? You really think that they really thought that they was gonna be like that? Jumping up with a damn spear in their hand, with cow dung huts. You really think that they thought that was going to be a part of their culture? They clicking at the name. You know what I'm saying? Like, they clicking, man. Sounding like some fucking aliens. You really think that they thought that? They thought that their dynasty was going to last forever. They are a very proud people. Read Exodus. They are extremely proud. They never thought that this was going to happen, ever. To the point where the Lord made them forget who they was, man. And, Esau think he can build his houses forever. But Esau can't build his houses forever because the vision is yet for an appointed time. We already told you again what the word world was going into. All right. And that's aeon, which is going into a period of time, age. We were going to be in captivity for a period of time during the age of the Edomites. And after the age of the Edomites is fulfilled, we are going to be in power forever. You understand? Solomon's throne is going to be forever. You understand? The house of David forever. You understand? Whether you like it or not, believe it or not, care or not, it's going to happen. Why? At the end, it shall speak. But you got it.
I got another precept. This is Psalms 92:7. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish.
Right. And look, you know what I'm saying? That's beautiful, because that's going into what we're going into. It's going into villages, to towns, to cities, to mega cities. They're just flourishing, man. It all started from Alexander the Greek. All right. All the way on down up now, man. Which was a period of about 2,000 years. All right. So this place is really finito. Esau is springing up. Their government is growing. All right. They have some type of legislation. They have some type of wicked order that they are going by, which is their ancient Roman Empire rules and regulations on how they're running it. And they're flourishing to the point where now it's a mega city, which is at the end. Just like I said, like the lifespan of a human. It's the same thing as a civilization, you know, because a civilization is born, it grows, it matures, and it dies, you know. But you got it up.
And if I could add, Psalms
Uh,
92, Psalms 92 and 7, it touches on that. It actually likens it as grass, because when grass grows and flourishes, it gets cut. You know,
right. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? If it get too high,
yeah,
you
kind.
know what I'm saying? Yep, kind. Yep. But you got it.
Yeah. Continue on that. It says, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever.
You hear that? Because you know what I'm saying, the Lord controls and he determines, all right, the destinies of men, you know. So he is gonna make this kingdom fall. All right. That's why the scriptures say Babylon is suddenly fallen, suddenly, unaware. Why? Abstraction from reality. You know, they don't care enough, you know, because they're all, you know what I'm saying, living their little life, you know. So they're going to be unaware of an external threat. They're going to be aware of the MOTB. They're going to be unaware of a lot of things, man. All right. That's why the scriptures say thief in the night. Because the Lord gonna catch a lot of Negroes slipping, man. All right. In the height of whatever they doing, the climax of whatever they doing. Why? Because they are individual, abstraction from reality, because they are in fact in a declining system, you know, operating like a declining individual, you know, basically like the average people, like in the Matrix, like in the Matrix movie, just walking around when Morpheus was explaining the Matrix to Neo, you know, everybody just walking around just like zombies, man. Even if you see
Bots.
these Negroes now, man, like all these Negroes is looking down in their phone. That's all they doing. I'm talking about not even aware of their uh um
Environments.
surroundings, you
Yeah.
know. But you got it up. You
Kind,
finished that.
that
Yeah.
was
More
it
on
on.
that.
That was it on that.
Okay. I uh let's get a couple
Jeremiah,
more. Huh? Let's
Jeremiah
get that
51.
second Ezra's 15. Nah, let's get second Ezra's 15. Do you had a I can get it
Nah,
right quick.
kind. I
You
got
get
that. So when we get that, Sirach 10 and 8.
I want you to get second Ezra's 15 and 16. Bible show.
Yeah, I had the same thing with the apocryphal, you know, but I written down Sirach 10 and 8 though in my Bible. I got that written down.
But I got a it's like I said right. I got a second Ezra 15 right quick. I got second Ezra 15 right quick. Second Ezra 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. All right. Sedition is going into uproars of people. Okay. Now, you know, so these elites on how they running it, all right, is that they have elite overproduction. Okay. Meaning they are in a rat utopia too. Okay, because these elites, they're having a lot of children. Okay, these elites are having a lot of children, man. Okay, and these elites doesn't have a lot of positions of power. Okay, so now they are fighting for the next seat to be the next Jacob Rothschild. It ain't like it's just in order 1%. in their families. That's why they snake each other out. That's why they kill each other and do all that other stuff, because they have limited spots of power. All right. And those same limited spots of power is given to the masses, which, you know what I'm saying, people fight for status. You know, people actually fighting for status. Okay. And that's even is going to transliterate into Jacob's trouble with resources. You know, it's going to be heavy resources. And, you know what I'm saying, if a person got coffee in that day, you're going to be a millionaire, technically, because it's going to be scarce. So if you got it, you're going to be the one. And guess what? People going to want what you got. And then, you know what I'm saying, they're going to try to, you know what I'm saying, spoil your goods, man. All right. That's why you got these preppers out here that, you know, doomsday guys, the doomsday prepper guys, you know, that got like 2,000 pounds of MREs that they've been, you know, and all this gun saves and ammo and shit, man, all these guns, man, all you got is two hands. You know, you're not going to get to all that shit in that safe, man. That's just a waste of fucking money. You know, you're only going to stock it up for somebody else. And then, you know, his head going to be blown off by the end table, man. You know, safe, wide open, cleaned. Come on, man. You know, but it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. All right. They shall not regard their kings. All right. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And the difference between the rat utopia, all right, and Second Ezra 15:16 is that in the rat utopia, they had unlimited resources. All right. Jake, all right, and these other nations on this side, they have unlimited comfort to a degree. You can go here, you can go as you please, you can spend money on this. If you want to do this, you can do this, but they're going to take those privileges away. They're going to take your food away. All right. They didn't take the food away in the rat utopia. They kept everything to where even if it's 2,200 rats, everybody still have enough food and there's still everything to go around in way more, you know, it's an abundance. And also they up the housing to where everybody can still have whatever they want, but they was fighting for status, just like in the you know, wild. They fight for status. You know, the zero sum game that I just mentioned. I win, you lose. Two rats fight. One has to win. The one that won is the alpha male. He get all of the spoils. The other one, they got to go about their business, man. But the difference is they can go about their business. When Esau do this entry exit system and he literally, you know, lock this shit down and he's going to restrict your travel, people are going to fight. People are going to get violent. People are going to be just like those rats. They're going to start eating each other too. Same thing. This is how you know that this is the declining of a society, man. Okay. Let's get that Jeremiah 51 right quick, and then I'm going to go back to the second Ezra. Jeremiah 51. But while you getting that, I'm going to finish this up then. You already there?
You can start at 51 and 8.
51 and 8.
Con.
Yep.
Con. Jeremiah 51 and 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. So that means that vision had its appointed time. Okay. Right. And this prophecy hasn't happened yet, you know, because we're on StreamYard right now and we're not in the chariot, because the world is going to get blown up. Well, I ain't going to say the world, you know what I'm saying? Because there's certain parts of the earth that is going to be 100% destroyed. Like Israel is going to be 100% destroyed and has to get rebuilt. Babylon the Great will never get, you know what I'm saying, rebuilt. This place is gonna be a memorial for desert creatures and fowls of the air and reptiles and turtles and coyotes and you know what I'm saying? All of these,
Right.
vultures, this place is gonna be a desert, like Curse the Cowardly Dog desert. Is it, you're gonna see a big puff of smoke for a long ass time. All you gotta do is just look north. You're gonna see a big puff of smoke, man. All right.
Right.
So it says that Babylon suddenly has fallen. You already witnessing the decline, all right, of this current, civilization. All right. You already seeing the money failing. You already seeing that everything is going digital. You already see that this civilization is at its very end. You know. So what manner of persons are ye to be, man? You got to tighten up, man. You need to get close with Yahweh Shema Washah because, this is the only way you're going to get out. This is the only way that you're going to not taste death is through Yahweh Shema Washah. Lord willing, we are part of that number because it all boils down to whether you was written in the book of life, but you can finish that up.
How for her? Take balm for her pain.
Exactly. So I don't care about an external threat. I don't care about anything because this is the lifespan of Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great was built on blood and slavery. All right. And it's going to end with blood. And our kingdom is going to start with blood and slavery too. What goes around comes around, man. Okay. The brother already brought out Ecclesiastes 1:9. There's nothing new under the sun. Your kingdom gonna start with blood and slavery. Ours is too. And then after 1,000 years, Esau gonna have to walk the plank. All right, and these other nations eventually they're gonna get their lands back, man. But you got it.
Back in Jeremiah
51.
51:8. And it reads, how for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed.
It say what?
If so be she may be healed.
You can't heal a place that's already about to die. I don't give a fuck how many vegetables you eat, how many teas you want to so-called drink. If you gonna check out, you gonna check out, man. This place is on a decline. The money is failing. Okay. Babylon the Great, okay, has already been boxed out the entire world financially. All right. And now it's gonna be physically because nobody is gonna fight for this place. They're gonna turn on this place, man. The same so-called allies that these devils have, they're going to be plotting against Babylon the Great. All right. This Edomite society, okay, is going to end with their blessing. Esau, his blessing was the sword. By the sword thou shalt live. If you live by the sword, you die by the sword. By the sword thou shalt die. You know what I'm saying? This devil gonna die, man. You know what I'm saying? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. So the Lord is going to use Esau to destroy himself with the very thing he was blessed with. That's why Yahweh Shema Washah will give him nuclear technology, but he isn't going to give him technology to break the firmament, though. You see, because it's not meant for him to go to other planets. It's not meant for him to inhabit other planets. All right. Because if you leave a child to tend to himself, everything is going to be, in disarray. That's why the scriptures say he that is younger than I had me in derision, roughly paraphrasing. This devil was left to his own devices And look how the earth is now, man. You know, so this society have to end. Otherwise, the earth ain't gonna last if this devil get 10,000 years on the earth, man, ruling. Hell no, man. That got to get nipped in the bud real quick, you know? You know? Because you have 1,000 years of growing and you have 1,000 years of decline. And that's basically from Alexander the Greek all the way up to now, man, really. But you got it.
God. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Exactly, man, because it's like putting a damn Band-Aid on a damn shotgun wound, man. All right. The hole is too big for the Band-Aid. You can't do nothing. This place is bound to die. That is the civilizational lifespan. Babylon, look, man, this Roman Empire fell before. This, okay, so now it got reborn again. It grew. It got mature. Now it's dying. You see? It's going to be fully dead when Yahushua kill it. It's going to take our Lord Yahushua to kill this place. Matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 63 real fast. Hold that. And let's go to Isaiah 63. You know? Because it's Yahushua that's going to have to kill this place, man. All right? Literally. This is going to be a violent takeover. Yahushua said it is. You know? This devil's blessing is the sword. You know? So by this devil's blessing being the sword, all right, he ain't going to leave without a fight. He ain't going to give us up without a fight. But the scriptures say, but they prevailed not. You know? But you got it.
It's Isaiah 63. Start from the top.
Yeah.
It's Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
Read on.
God. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. I will mention the loving kindness.
The point was in 5.
God.
So that's already letting you know, right then and there. This is the same rulership that murdered Yahushua. This is the same rulership that indicted Yahushua. This is the same rulership that pierced, you know what I'm saying, our Lord.
Right.
They was basically shipping our Lord Yahushua to different prisons and stuff like that. He got shipped to one governor, And then they was like, we can't do nothing with him because he don't even got no type of citizenship here. So they sent him back to Pontius Pilate. That's like a, you know what I'm saying? That's like Jake getting shipped from prison to prison, man. You know, you got expedited. You know, it's like you get expedited. As soon as you get out, one, you know, it's like another jail got to come see about you, man. You know, so that's basically, you know what I'm saying, what the Lord gonna do. He is gonna destroy this place. He is gonna bring down their strength to the earth. Their strength going to their government, their system. Okay. That's why the scriptures say that he cometh with clouds and every eye shall see him. Okay.
Spirit.
Even the one that pierced him, you know,
Spirit.
because, you know what I'm saying? Because mind you, this is the same rulership, you know, it was in the hands of Pontius Pilate, and Pontius Pilate put it in the hands of the people just so he can get, you know, so re-elected again. Plus, on top of that, he already had, you know what I'm saying, the rundown that you don't even need to do nothing to that man because he's an innocent man. Okay. Plus, on top of that, his wife seen the play-by-play of how the Lord gonna come back, man. She was plagued in dreams, man. You know? And Pontius Pilate still had his thumb out, man, just like this, and put it in the people's hands. And then the people did that, man. And they chose Barabbas. And Barabbas' last name was Jesus, man. You know, his name was Barabbas Jesus. You know? So, you got anything else up? Because if not, you know, so just close out.
God, we could. Yeah, that's it. I don't have anything.
Con.
I don't have.
All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson was con. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Haracha'a Kodash. For giving us the spirit to do this video. Shalom to the elect. We on the next one. Abaratazah. Shalom.
Wow.